Morning, welcome to Something Saturday. So I'm really excited today because I have sort of found this different technique using water and stamps, and I haven't come across it before anywhere else. So whether this is something that I've just not come across before, or whether it's something brand new, so it's exciting. Maybe it is. And on the other hand, you might be looking at it later and going, what's so brand new about that, Heather? Okay, anyway, let's move on, and I'll flip the screen. All right, bye. So, I don't know if you can see this, but these have like little stamped images in the middle of them. And I think it's really cool because I've actually done it with water. So I'm going to show you how I've done it. So normally I would say that you could probably get a similar image using bleach, but then it really stinks you out of the craft room if you do that, or kitchen, or wherever it is that you happen to be crafting. It's not a good smell. So this time I'm just using our normal thick, white thick cardstock. So it's, I think it's called thick basic white or basic white thick card, but one way or another, that's what it is. It's what I usually use as a base for all my cards anyway, but this time I'm actually using it to stamp on as well. So sometimes I don't use it for stamping on, just because it's a little bit more pricey than the other one. Not much, admittedly, but just, you know, there's just something in there that makes me go, ooh, I should be saving money here. Anyway, I completely forgot to pick out some colours. So let me tell you about the stamp sets that I'm using. In Bloom. This one's going to be gone shortly, if not already. So I'm hoping that it hasn't gone by the time this video airs. But In Bloom has been discounted to half price. I think it's now $15 instead of $30, or it's slightly more than that instead of slightly more than that, if that makes sense. Watercolour shapes, I completely forgot to look. I think they're continuing. But this one, I love it. I just think you can do so much with it. So if you haven't got yours, then it's a bargain. Why haven't you got one? Let's move my thing around. And I'm going to pick out some colours to use with this. I haven't used Fresh Freesia in a while, so we might use that. What's this one up here got? So Saffron, I could use that. Wonder if that would go with it. Well, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Let's just move it round a bit. How about that one as well? That looks like an interesting combination. Let's have a green as well. So there we go. That'll do us. So just pick yourself out a few colours. We're not using that one, so let's pop that one away. There it is. Right. So I thought this time, rather than, so you can see with this one, I've actually used the rectangle, which is this big rectangle here, comes out this size. Obviously the size that's on the card. It's just, I love the watercolor shapes, the way that you've got like light and dark in the same stamp. So I think it's pretty cool, that. I'm going to pop that over there anyway. So I thought I'd go with a circle. We're going to go with it being this way up, and I figured I can put my circle there and I can build some flowers around it. So what colour are we going to do the circle in? You can tell I didn't actually plan this terribly well. I'm terribly sorry, folks. I'm not much of a planner. Well, let's just pop that. So you can see that I've put my mat underneath where I'm working, because all these are photopolymer stamps and I want them to be able to give me a decent image like this, rather than if I was to stamp them on something where I hadn't put down a mat first of all, then you'd find that the image might not come out quite so crisp, which would be a bit disappointing, especially in the middle of a video. So let's just make sure I'm in the frame. Yes, I am. That's always a good sign, isn't it? All right. So let's move that over. Move that out the way. Excuse my arms. Let's pop the green over there because I don't want that just at the moment. Hope this works with these colours. I'm sure it should, definitely. You can see I've got my watercolor, water painters is what they're called. So water painters come in 3 sizes. You've got one that's like a brush, which is really useful if you're doing a big sort of like watercolor wash sort of thing. Then you've got one that's, I'll show you them both side by side so you can see. So you've got one that's small and one that's large. I'm going to use the small one, and I'm going to pop the large one back into the container. All right, so what we now want to do is we want to stamp one of the flowers. So I'm going to start off with this big flower here, and I've got my Flirty Flamingo, so let's go with that. Let's pop that into the corner here. So, oh, whoops, obviously that had something sitting on one of those. It's one of those things when you're using a big flat stamp like that, is you probably do want to clean it off beforehand, otherwise you end up with something like that. However, that's not what I'm showing you. So I've just got some water in my in this, and I'm just going to spray it onto this piece of plastic on the other side of my cleaner thing, and I'm going to take a little tiny stamp like this, and I'm going to ink it up with water. So there we go, inked up with water. Let's get rid of the excess. Make sure that I've got some there. And then I'm going to just stamp it down in the middle of this. And then you hold it down for a little while. So I don't know how many that is. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's call it 15. And how cool is that? I think it's cool. Okay, so there was a couple more that I was going to show you. So let's just move on and open these ones. Let's go with a Fresh Freesia one next. Why not? That doesn't really look quite as nice as Fresh Freesia I was expecting it to. Oh well, never mind. So let's go with this little one this time, and again, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Let's move those guys over a wee bit. So I'm just inking it up with water, and let's pop that down there. And as you watch it, you can kind of see the colour sort of seeping away. I'm guessing it just pushes the colour through the page as opposed to taking it off. But yeah, how cool is that? So you can see, because I'm using the thick cardstock, that it's actually not forcing it all the way through. Oh, excuse my cough. And what else have we got? We've got this one here. Let's go with a bit of Calypso Coral. Move that up there. Very dirty stamper today. Don't think there was any other tiny... Oh yeah, there was some more tiny ones. Why don't I use... Whoops. Why don't I find the stamp set first? There's that one and this one. I wonder if that one would be a good one to use in the middle of there. I haven't used that one yet, so let's give it a go, shall we? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That one obviously didn't do as well. You can kind of see that it's sort of there. Not terribly happy with that one. I'm going back to this one. Maybe I just didn't add enough water to it or something. But this one works really nicely. And we'll just give it a little bit longer. There we go. See, how amazing is that? Not sure I like the bubbly one. That's okay though, because I've got plenty of other ones. And then the greens. So let's add a leaf. Get rid of these so I don't shove my arm in the middle of it and end up with somewhat coloured arms. So let's just add a leaf there. Now, what I can do with this is I can use this one like that, but you can also just use the aqua painter and give it a moment, and it just it's amazing. It just takes the colour like that. I was also going to go with maybe would help if I ink it up enough. And where's that other little jobby gone to? Let's go with a Fresh Freesia one. That looks much nicer colour. I don't know what happened to the colour of this one. Oh well. You live and learn. So potentially, because I can just drop a little dot onto each of those. Where's a bit of, excuse me. So if you want to stop it spreading, just blot it before it gets too far. So just a basic tissue and just blot the excess away. And you see how that's now come up like that? So I'm going to do another one up in this side because, you know, you never have just one leaf. And this time what I'm going to do is use this little one here. So let's just ink that up. Pop that down and see, isn't it cool? There we go. So you can see there, I'm just going to stand up, that the water just kind of, as I say, it must just push the ink away. The reason that it's got the actual, you can sort of see the look of the stamp itself is probably because when you hold it down, it actually protects that part, whereas the water then just spreads outwards from it, if that makes sense. And I reckon that's how it ends up working. But I've never seen anyone do that before, so I could be the first. You never know. And you heard it here first. Thank you so much for joining me. And do check out my blog to see what I actually end up doing with this piece that I've made up here. And if you have enjoyed it, then please don't forget to like my page, like the page. And come and join me next Saturday. See you then. Thanks. Bye.